What's up? What's up? Welcome to another episode of Acoustic Chef. This is D. Will.
And this is Damn Gina.
This is Capel.
This is your girl, Ebony.
I need to spice up my intro. Y'all be saying different stuff. I just be like, this is Capel.
What you sipping on, Gina?
Oh, I went and made a mimosa. First I had a 5-hour energy because I'm sleepy. I don't know why.
That's why you was trying to push them. You was trying to advertise for 5-hour energy. You was trying to push them off on Capel or whatever.
I wasn't. I just they help me. Like they really last like 8 hours. Those 5-hour energy. So I wake up, drink a bottle of water, take some vitamins, and get going. And then right before I leave the house, I took that 5-hour energy, and I'm like all day long.
Man, I remember the first time I took one of them. Like the synapses in my brains was just like going off or whatever. I was able to like solve world hunger and
I bet
world peace and everything.
You were
But
productive.
then, but it only lasted like maybe 2 hours, and then after that I was done.
Oh my!
Out
Did you crash?
I didn't crash. I crashed mentally. I didn't crash like physically, like went to sleep or nothing like that. But it had wore off or whatever.
For me, it's a steady all day until about 3:30. And by 3:30, I'm like, okay. I don't crash, but I'm like, okay, I'm done for the day. Like I check out. But if I take it in the morning, sometimes I split it and take a little bit in the morning and then another shot later on, finish it later on, and I'm good until about 11 o'clock at night.
Damn.
So I need to buy stock in 5-hour energy because it keeps
Man, you
me
need
going.
to stop taking 5-hour energy, man. You ain't supposed to be taking them like that.
I mean, maybe I don't take it every day, but I do keep some just in case when I'm like this. I don't know why I'm so tired. I went to bed at like my normal time. I don't know why I'm tired like this.
Man, I remember when me and Capel first moved here, I was drinking Rockstar energy drinks like they was water.
Those are bad.
I was drinking them like because I was driving back and forth to Louisiana like a lot, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was drinking them. Oh my God, man, them things had my chest like I had to go. I went to the hospital. I had to have like some kind of like a chest infection.
What?
I thought I was having a heart attack.
Wow. What? Why were you drinking so many?
I mean, why not? I didn't know that nothing was wrong with him.
He didn't know no better. He didn't know no better.
Okay.
At the time, Rockstar had just came out.
You
a
know
lot
better,
of people
you do
drinking that
better.
stuff. Like I had 1 5-hour energy, but it didn't do much for me. But that's because when I took it, I had already been taking red lines. I don't know if you ever had a red line before.
Those are not good for you either.
But that was then. That was when they was just coming out, and I used to take them for my workouts. And so taking a 5-hour energy, that didn't do nothing compared to a red line.
I bet.
I haven't taken a 5-hour energy since then, so I don't know.
They took Four Locos off the market, but they left all of these the energy drinks.
They used to help me in college when I was trying to stay up for papers. We would take caffeine pills and then drink all that stuff. Yeah,
no doubt.
It would keep me up. But when I crashed, and my body, I was like, I don't want to feel this anymore.
I went to sleep. So, I did the
I like that feeling. That energy feeling.
That crashing feeling?
Nah, it's for some reason I never really crashed like talking about. Like I did when I take those drinks or whatever. For some reason I just don't. But I like the feeling of when I drink them.
Like, I
like that energy.
Like, I feel like I can do anything. I'm like, yes.
If I was an addict, like I'd probably be like on speed or cocaine or some shit.
Well, and that's the thing.
Like that'd be
it's like
my drug.
It is. It's kind of like speed. I mean, I've never taken like speed on purpose or anything like that.
On purpose,
yeah.
Let's talk about when you accidentally took it. Let's talk about that.
Even knowingly, even not on purpose. I don't think I've ever.
You don't
sometimes
think so?
you're like, hey, you got any Tylenol? And then you get some Tylenol from a friend, and
it doesn't look like Tylenol.
You start running around the house all crazy.
I'm running through your house like a Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I don't remember. That reminds me of the Fresh Prince episode when Carlton got those heels out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of look at it. Yeah, I'm already kind of a high energy person. Like people are like, when do you stop, sit down, and lay down? So I can only imagine how annoying I'd be if I was on some speed or something. I don't know. I think that's why
opposite for you. You probably like chill
Probably
real far out and just be like.
Well, that's how I am when I drink. I'm a sleepy drunk. I'm an embarrassing drunk too, but not like I'm cussing everybody out. Like I told you on another episode, I'm one of those. I own this shit. Let me in here, type of drunks. But then I'm asleep the next 5 minutes. Like anything that makes people like lively puts me to sleep. So I'm like sleep in a club if I'm drinking.
Like, what's the name of that weight loss pill that it's a prescribed pill that people was taking? They get them from weight loss clinics or whatever.
Oh, Fen-Phen? Was it Fen-Phen?
No, not Fen-Phen. Not Fen-Phen.
Hydroxycut?
Adipex? Was it Adipex?
Adipex.
Hydroxycut or so. Oh, Adipex. Yeah. That gives me energy.
So when I was living in Dallas, a friend of mine was this girl I was dating. She was taking Adipex, and she was talking about how you should take one because you work out a lot and then you teach and it give you energy. And she told me about it, and I was like, okay. So I went to a clinic, got assessed by the doctor. The doctor prescribed me Adipex. And the first day I took it, I was like, man, this shit is off the chain. Like I wasn't hungry at all. Like I literally lost the weight that I was trying to lose in like 15 days.
Yep.
But because I didn't have an appetite.
Right.
But the feeling was so good. So one day I took one, like around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, because I was going to the club and I was tired. So I was like, I shouldn't have took it that way. But I took it and, should I get me up? And then while we was on our way to the club, I was drinking. And the combination of the drinking and the pill had me in a state that I ain't never been in my life. I'm talking about a good state. It was good.
Yeah.
I was like, good state, y'all. I was calm, but I was like feeling good at the same time. And when I nothing happened. It was fine. But I was thinking that day, later that day, I was like, this is how people get addicted because
you want that feeling.
I wanted to go back to that feeling. That shit felt good.
I mean, mind-altering substances they're, when I worked in the medical field, in the pharmacy, in the hospital pharmacy and stuff, I would see certain drugs in the pharmacy that you see on TV. They advertise a drug and, have your talk to your doctor about this drug. And then at the bottom, or like really in a low voice, they'll say side effects include, runny nose,
anal itching, suicidal thoughts.
Exactly. Yeah, all of these things. And you're like, but we had every single one of them in the hospital. In the hospital pharmacy. Why
your anus always got to be itching though?
It was anal itch or anal leakage. Anal leakage was a big one.
Like, what the hell is anal leakage? Like I've seen that before several times on these heard on these commercials. Like, what the hell is that? What is leaking? What's coming out?
What's leaking out of it? My bad.
So those people who get those like gastric bypass surgeries for weight loss. Yeah. A lot of them have issues with absorbing iron and things like that. Certain minerals don't absorb well because you're like bypassing part of the stuff that's supposed to happen in your stomach. All of these enzymes and stuff that's supposed to help digest your food, you're bypassing that. And so most of those people have issues with iron absorption. So when I worked at the cancer center, we used the people didn't have cancer. They just needed iron, like an in-fed injection. And it's like a 6-hour injection. And they would get up and go to the bathroom a lot of times just to like wipe, because part of the side effect of the gastric bypass was like anal leakage. Like if they passed gas or something else would come out. It could be like something greasy or something. And I didn't believe it until I worked there. And I was like, why you got to use the bathroom again? Like we can't just keep disconnecting you. So they would take their whole IV pole in the bathroom, go to the bathroom, and they
should just put a diaper on. They make some sexy diapers now.
You don't want to sit in that.
Those drugs and stuff, drugs and medical procedures. But I understand that feeling and that feeling of what you're talking about, Capel, about being taking the Adipex. I did for a while too. I didn't like how it made me feel, but I did. Like I was trying to lose weight for my wedding. And I lost weight like real fast because I wasn't hungry. It took my appetite away. But then like I felt my stomach never felt right. I just felt, I don't know, it felt queasy or whatever. But I never like combined it with something else. You're not supposed to combine.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
I knew it when I was doing it.
He wanted to stay on track. He wanted to go to the club and keep on his weight loss journey.
When I was younger, I was a social alcoholic. Like only time when I went out, if I didn't drink, I felt like I wasn't having a good time.
Oh, me too. Drink in one hand, and I would have those little skinny cigarettes in the other hand. Those little skinny ones. I thought I was so cool, smoking and drinking at the same time.
So I just said a prayer like, please don't let me have a heart attack or something. Drinking this alcohol after I took this pill. I knew exactly what I was doing. It turned out to be a good night.
Capel turned into Superman when he get on that drink, y'all. He be on some I don't give a fuck type. He be ready to fight too. He like to fight when he.
What is he drinking? Is it brown? Is he drinking?
He like Irish. He Irish.
Like amaretto sours or anything.
What are you drinking that makes you want to fight? Because I've seen you drink like clear. I've seen you down vodka and be okay. So I don't know what this is.
Nah. So my true nature comes out. I'm very much in control of like how I feel about stuff. People don't know exactly how I feel about things that they do because I control myself really, really well. Oh, shit. Things upset me quick. But I control it. But when I'm drinking, I'm just like, fuck that. So I wouldn't say I'm a fighter. He exaggerated a little bit.
Hey, bro, I'm not ready to fight. Hey, bro, don't make me start telling stories, bro.
Listen, I will. I don't know what story you're talking about. You're gonna have to remind me, bro.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what you're talking about.
But I want to hear some stories. I've have stories. Like I've taken. I don't know. I wasn't one who smoked. Like I didn't smoke in college and like in high school and stuff. I was always afraid of doing those things. But like when edibles started to become popular, I was like, okay, let me try that. And like I took an edible one time and then I had like a Long Island iced tea. I have never felt that good in my life. I was so chill, and everything that people said, I had a real like intellectual and introspective answer for. I was like, I should be a counselor. I need to go back to school because I'm telling these people everything they need to know because I'm so smart. And
you are, because it gives you clarity.
I have such clarity right now. So everything, anybody said something and I was like, well, it's probably just this. And here's what you need to do. And then I sat back like, what you think about that? I felt fabulous. And I've been searching for that, not with a mind-altering substance, but like in real life. I want to feel like that every day. Like I have such clarity, like can't nobody touch me. I've reached a state of zen. So I mean, edibles.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
So when I was in college, I was a smoker, but I started off actually because people were smoking, weed in high school. The high school I went to, I think I tried it once and I was like, I don't know why they're doing it. They're just trying to be cool. So I remember in college being around some of my homegirls and I was like, why y'all do that? I tried it. Y'all say y'all are feeling this way. And they told me you're smoking wrong. So they taught me what to do. Then I got high. Then I was like, oh, I get it. Like I totally get it. And I felt that way. I was so smart and there was clarity there. I'm like, I can get my work done, but I felt like I was in slow motion. But one thing about me is that I get paranoid. So I'm not one of those people that can, now, I don't think I've ever smoked anything that was laced with anything. So all that new stuff that people are doing, the most I was doing was dro. And I thought I had arrived. Like, I'm not smoking no regular because I was like, I ain't regular. I ain't doing that. But all that new stuff that people talking about, that's why I'm like, I can't do that. Don't dip it in nothing. I don't need nothing laced, none of that. But the thing was, so that was college. But I do know if I ever went somewhere and I was high, I was so paranoid, like everybody else was having a good time. But in my head, all these thoughts are going. I'm like, how do I solve world peace? Is my work done? And can everybody see my eyes are red? Am I high? Do they smell it? Like, I'm not having fun like everybody else. So I'm like, that's something I don't need to do. So I told my husband, I'm like, shoot, we on this pandemic, we at home. Maybe I should, just for old time's sake, start it up if it's becoming, legalized here and there, but my thing is that I'm older now. Like, I don't know how do you go about even getting anything? It's like, I'm not just going to go up to somebody like, you got that weed? Like, I'm 40 years old and everybody's like doing edibles now. I'm old school. I do things the old school way. Yeah. And I did try an edible one time and it didn't do anything for me. So maybe I didn't take enough, or maybe that particular one, but I don't know how you can gauge the dosage. At least when you're smoking, you can say, okay, I don't need to take any more
Yeah.
puffs. Like if I take a gummy, you just here for the ride. Like, is it gonna not do anything, or is it gonna make your brain explode? Like I don't. That's not
You know,
enough control for me.
when you take the edibles, sometimes you take a little, you don't take enough and it'll do much. And then sometimes you take too much. Ain't that right, Damien?
Oh, I've been waiting to hear this story. Like this show is about to be all about for old time's sake. So what I want to
So
hear this
anyway,
edible
Megan Thee
story.
Stallion and
No,
No,
Tory
no,
Lanez.
Oh
Nah,
no, let's get back to this.
no,
Be
no,
trying to act
no.
like you.
so we took a family vacation to Colorado. We went to
Oh,
Springs. You know what I'm saying? So I already know I'm enjoying myself when I touch down. You know what I'm saying? Because it's legal there. You know, it's gonna be cold, snow on the ground. You know what I'm saying? I'm enjoying myself. So man, we get down there the first day, we do our thing or whatever. The second day, we link up with my brother-in-law, brother. You know what I'm saying? And he take us to the spot, which I can't go in because even though it's legal in Springs, it's a military town, so they don't want any military members, active military, like going in there just being able to do what they want to do. So they're a little bit more regulated, so you have to have like a card or something like that to go in. Anywhere else, you could just walk right in the store. So I told him, man, I want to try some liquid or whatever, something to drink or whatnot. So he was like, all right, I get you some. So he came back with
some
this
liquid.
stuff. Yeah, some kind of blueberry fizz or something like that or whatever, like a soda.
Mm,
And
sounds yummy.
I mean, there's no directions on it. there's no, if you're 12 years old or older, you know what I'm saying? Take 2 tablespoons. It ain't none of that type of shit on there. You know what I'm saying? It's just here
Go
you
for what
go,
you know.
basically. So I imagine when he went in there, they had to explain some things to him that I didn't get an explanation for. That's the only possible explanation I could come up with for the things that transpired afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I get the drink. He tell me, he say, hey, well, if you a smoker, which I grew up smoking, but not just like randomly. You know what I mean? I've never been a smoker. I just, blow every now and then and stuff like that. So he was like, if you a smoker, you could probably drink the whole bottle. Like I drink the whole bottle like it ain't nothing. But if you don't smoke, probably maybe like half or something like that. So I'm like, cool. I just drink half the bottle and I'm good. So I'm drinking it like it's alcohol, like straight up. Like I'm taking my sip, putting it down, taking my sip, putting it down or whatever. You know what I mean? And I say maybe 30 minutes later, I'm feeling great. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about I'm feeling so good. I feel like when you on anesthesia and they tell you to count down, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like right there on 3. I'm like 5. I'm like right there. I'm like, man, this is a great feeling. You know what I'm saying? I'm driving and everything. I'm good. We headed to the zoo. We go through this little neighborhood. It got deer and stuff passing, like they right there in front of your car, like they live in a neighborhood and stuff. I'm like, man, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. You know what I'm saying? And so we finally get to the zoo. We get out the car, we walk up to the front, and then for whatever reason, I was get me and by the espionage people was like had infiltrated me or whatever in some type of way or manner. And so I told my wife, hey, it's an emergency. It's an emergency. You know what I'm saying? So we walk back to the car and she's like, what's up? I say, man, it's an emergency or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it just hit me all of a sudden. Like I went from like feeling good to feeling extra great. Like I'm on top of the moon with Rick James or whatever. We having a
Euphoria,
concert, everything or whatever. You know what I mean? And then like 3 seconds later, I'm all the way back down. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh my God, like what's going on? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, and I'm going through this progression of going all the way up and going back down. And then like, I'm like, it's like I could see myself like I'm outside of my body looking at, it's like two of me, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm double right now, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at myself and I'm like, I'm tripping. I'm like, hey man, I need to go to the hospital. She's like, no, it's just the weed. You just a tripping right now. Like, nah, I ain't never felt like this before. Like I'm not in control. I have zero control of what's going on right now. Cause like I'm thinking, okay, once I sit down in the car, I'm gonna be good. And so I'm like, oh man, okay, I feel so much better. Oh my God, I'm going to the top of the world. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that was my demeanor. Like I couldn't control myself. Like I was going from the top to the bottom, like in a matter of minutes and shit. So so she's like, okay, maybe she started Googling stuff, whatever. She's like, I'm gonna just go get you something to eat. Something to eat real quick. You haven't had anything to eat or whatever. I'm gonna go in the zoo and get you something right quick. You gonna be okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be all right. So the whole time I'm like thinking to myself, like, damn, I'm so high. Like, how do I get out of this? Like, maybe if I take all my clothes off and then go run and jump in the snow or whatever, it's gonna wake me up. You know what I'm saying? But then I'm like, damn, but then I'm gonna look crazy because if people gonna be wondering why I'm doing that, even though I'm doing it, I'm not doing it because I'm high. I'm doing it because I'm trying to not be high.
Oh gosh. I don't know.
So I poured some water on my hand and everything. I'm like, damn, when she come back, she gonna wonder, like, damn, why is his hand wet? You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. I'm going through all. I'm like, I'm thinking about everything that could possibly happen. And so she come back with like a pretzel and some mustard, because that's it. There's nothing else. It's early in the morning where they ain't got nothing else going on. So I'm eating that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still tripping or whatever. So she was like, I'm about to go get a brother-in-law. So she go get him. He come back, so we start I'm still tripping. We riding around. I'm like, I don't know. I think I need to no, this is before that. I told her, nah, go ahead and call the ambulance. I'm going to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? So she called the police. No, she called the ambulance.
No.
They came, the zoo people came. And the fire, man, I thank God the police didn't come. We got the gun in the car and everything. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's legal, this state is different than Texas or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You can't have the clip and the like a bullet in the head. You know what I'm saying? You got to have them separate. I didn't know this until they started talking about it, hearing them talking or whatever. And so the zoo dude came over to me or whatever. They not tripping. They telling her like, well, we see this all the time. You just gonna have to ride through it, go through it with them. I'm tripping though.
Paranoid as fuck. For these taxable dollars.
Bruh, in my mind, I'm about to go to jail. I'm about to lose my business. We about to lose our house. We about to lose the car. Everything is gone now. I'm about to lose I just got custody of my daughter a couple years ago. She about to go back with her mama. You know what I'm saying? Everything fucked up. So I'm like, the dude come over there to me to talk to me or whatever. And I said, so yo, my demise is your triumph, huh? Or whatever.
That was the first thing.
When he told me that
out of your mouth.
When he told me that, I lost it.
So he was like, huh?
They should have arrested you just on that. You think you're funny, boy?
Man, that was cool. They wasn't even tripping. So he was like, huh? What you say? Rashonda was like, shut up, shut the fuck up, shut up.
John said that to you. You was really acting foolish.
She was like, I got this under control. Just chill out or whatever. So they was like, yeah, we see this all the time. You just gonna have to just ride it out. It's not a big deal or whatever. She was like, you're gonna have to live with it. So they left. Police never come. Okay, cool. She gonna get my brother-in-law. He come. You know what I'm saying? He ride. We still start riding around the parking lot, just trying to get my mind off of what's going on and stuff like that. So I tried to call my boy Joe Trax or whatever, and I was like, I'm thinking like, you know what? If I call him and he respond, then my mind can't conjure up a real conversation. You know what I'm saying? According to what he may say, especially if the phone. What I was thinking, like, okay, I'm gonna talk to him through the speaker on the through the car Bluetooth and stuff like that, because there's no way my mind can because I'm thinking like this is not even real. Like I'm serious. Like this, it wasn't even real to me. Like what was I didn't know the difference between reality and if this was fantasy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, I don't know. So if I call somebody on the phone and they answer and I have a conversation with them, maybe this is real. Because what's going on right now, I don't even know if these people, if this is my wife and my brother-in-law, are they real? Is this like a real situation? I'm serious. Like this lasted, like they was like it'll last like maybe 5-6 hours. Shit. it lasted me to like even the next day when I got up and they had worn off, I was still thinking like, damn, I'm gonna wake up in prison. You know what I'm saying?
You drank that drink pretty fast, huh? That's what it was. It was the
man, I drank it like it was alcohol.
Oh Lord. Okay, so if I ever get that experience, I'm gonna make sure to sip. I'm just gonna sip it.
Oh, very slowly. Like
very slowly. I might have to get a medicine dropper.
Let 30 minutes pass and see what 30 minutes what type of fruit that bear. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you,
I wish you would have. I mean, that's hilarious. Now I'm glad you didn't take off your clothes and actually.
I wish there was video of this.
So my demise.
I need camera.
So my demise is your triumph, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say I need the camera evidence. So I need to see the faces on the zookeeper and everybody else when you said that.
That shit was like, funny. What? My demise is your triumph.
Where did that even come from? Like, is that from a movie, or did you just come up with that on the fly and say it? What the hell?
It's a bunch of free thoughts.
You've been waiting to say that. You need to
triumph.
And when he told me that, so later on, like maybe months later, me and my wife went to. No, I'm talking about.
I called you the next day.
No, you told me the next day. But I'm saying months later, me and my wife went to Colorado, and it was because of this story that I tempered how much edibles that I had. You know, because we got edibles too, and I remember this story. So I was telling my wife, I was like, you know, hey, I told her about what happened to him before that, but I was like, you know, we went into the store to get our stuff. I was like, we probably need to eat a little bit of it because we don't want to get too, you know, remember what happened to Damien. But we didn't. So I think I was paying so much attention to how much I was eating that I didn't even really feel anything. You know, I didn't have a great experience with the edibles or whatever. But I think I was being a little too timid. But because the thing is whatever, if we would have went all in, if I'd have went all in, then my wife would have went all in, and if that would have happened to us, we both would have been like him. You know?
Yeah.
Man, I stick to the smoke.
So did Sean get to enjoy herself at all? Did your wife get to enjoy it?
Not at all. I totally blew her high.
You got to take her back. You got to take her back, and you can't do nothing.
She was like, "Damn, I wish I was on your level."
So you need to take her back, and you can't do anything. You just gonna eat.
You owe her another trip. You owe her
she's straight or whatever. She,
that is funny.
She do her thing sometimes in the city, so it ain't nothing or whatever. But we went to Vegas after that, and I just got me something rolled, a pre-roll, and she had us some gummies. You know what I'm saying?
They sell them right there on the strip. You can buy them right there.
Yeah, so I'm done with y'all. Can have the edibles. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I had my experience.
You gotta know how to do it. And
I don't want to know how to do it. I'm straight. Because alcohol ain't no. I done been messed up on alcohol before. It didn't make me like that.
Yeah, because how can you gauge it? They need to be able to. You need instructions. They need to say, hey, this, you take a nerd piece of candy or 1/3 cup, like medicine. Like it's essentially that's what it is.
But did you ask them? Did you say, hey?
I told you I didn't go.
You couldn't go in.
Yeah. Like my brother-in-law or whatever. So
brother-in-law set him up.
For real. He didn't give me all the information. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was a setup. They wanted to see how far you would go.
See, I told you don't marry him.
He's in the snow. Where are your clothes? I am going to write this down because the next film that I participate in, that scene is going to be in it.
That's what's up. Yeah. I mean, I deserve like 20%, right?
Bet, because that shit is hilarious.
Yeah,
it's really funny.
That's a classic story there. But I just wish that same thing would have happened when we went on any of our fellas trips when we was younger. Like we was going to Atlanta and New Orleans and all that. That should have happened with us. Me and you, Tracy, baby.
It did happen. Like
not well,
similar situations.
Yeah, we had to share that one for another time because that was similar. It's not the same, but it was similar.
Which one you talking about? Because I'm talking about two different. I'm talking about ATL and New Orleans.
I'm talking about New Orleans.
Ooh, which one of y'all?
Yeah, you still talking about me?
Both him. Yeah.
You again? You didn't learn? What the hell?
It was a little different, but yeah, still pretty funny. But
wow.
Anyway, that's all we talking. We talking about D Will today. That's it.
Nah, that just part was you. Before you, it was all us. We was talking about our experiences.
Yeah.
But
I'm about how good.
So the moral of the first half of this podcast is make sure that you check your edible. Make sure you know how much to take. Don't believe any brother-in-laws. Don't take your clothes off in the snow, and don't be in the zoo. The zookeeper gonna get you. They might make you an exhibit. Just watch what you put in your body, especially when you're at our age. Like, I mean, I ain't old, but I ain't no spring chicken.
I never had a brownie or none of that, but I imagine it's a brownie. So mentally, it's
you want to keep eating the brownie.
It's a brownie. It's a cookie. It's I'm going to eat it. No, everybody doesn't put the same.
Well, they be having all kinds of gummies. Like it looks just like candy. It looks exactly like whatever you would normally buy. And it's so and I don't know,
like candy. You can't even taste the weed.
And people say just take a piece. Like I don't take a piece of regular food. I eat it all. So how much is a piece? I don't know that. Like when people give it to you, they say take a piece. But what is a piece?
This dude, like at the same time when that happened to me, this dude like killed his wife or whatever. And he said that he was on edibles and stuff like that. And I'm like,
it was laced.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Something else in it.
I'm telling you.
It was laced. Because that's the thing with who has ever killed somebody from weed? Yeah, but he's telling you he's lying.
Okay. No, I'm telling you. I'm not saying, I mean, you don't know where he is mentally. I know where I'm at mentally. I'm pretty mentally strong, but I had zero control. But my thought process was, okay, I'm gonna kill my wife. But what if my thought process was, I'm just trying to see, is this real? Because I was literally trying to see what was going on was real. I couldn't tell the difference between real life and fantasy. So
then that's why I wonder is what are they really putting in some of this stuff now that things are regulated and you get it from stores?
You talking about a concentrated dose of THC? It ain't just like smoking it. I'm talking about a concentrated.
I understand that, but that's why I'm just trying to figure. Like you even have people that's back to back all day. They smoking blunts.
It ain't the same. I'm telling you, it's not. I done smoke. I grew up. I've been smoking since I was like 12, 13 years old. It is not the same. It's totally not the same. It's so concentrated. Is I don't know. I can't explain it. You just have to go through it. Like I was really tripping. Wow. So
I've been very paranoid and I've been tripping but I just question like what's in stuff now and what do they tell us? Even like when people talk about, I got this CBD oil, and some people like I know some people in some shops, people say, I put this CBD oil on and now I feel better. And I know damn well the CBD that these people are selling ain't nothing but some petroleum, but they just throw some stuff on there. CBD. They know some. Well, I'm just saying some people. Like I know I have a friend that's a pest control person, and when he run out of stuff, he just spray water and people pay him. So I'm just saying sometimes you just people say something dirty. Is something, it don't be something. So
it is, yeah.
That's so dirty. Who is this cat? What
I ain't gonna say it, but but when he has the materials, he's great. But I'm not gonna out him because I support Black business.
That's so dirty.
Damn.
You got mopeds now.
Yeah, with the water.
I'm like this spider ain't dying over here.
He's playing in the water.
I remember I had him come over and I was like, I need you to come spray, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna come. When he came, he didn't even like put me on a schedule. I guess because he feels like I don't pay the way I need to pay, but he was on a date. Like his date was in the drive. I was like, you brought somebody in my house? He's like, yeah, we're going to brunch. And I was like, I need you to dedicate time to spray in my house. Like, so he went and, sprayed a little thing and went in the car and took her to brunch. So I'm like, there's no way you did.
You smell like boric acid and whatever else kind of
probably shit. Did. Well, that probably was the day he sprayed my house with water. So let's just say.
Boric acid doesn't have a smell. It don't smell like nothing.
I don't know.
It's hard to tell the difference.
So Oh, go ahead, Gina.
I was gonna ask y'all a question. It's a real serious question. It's
Let's
very
go.
important. Um, okay, listen closely because I'm having this conundrum right now.
Uh-huh.
How do you, if you've ever had to, how do you approach a person and tell them that they smell bad?
Mm. It it's
Oh,
it
okay.
depends.
Depends on who they are.
It depends on the
Someone close to me
yeah.
smells terrible a lot of the time, and I don't know what to say to this person to make them understand that they need to clean parts of their body more often.
Do you have to
Okay.
be around this
So
person?
um yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay, go ahead, compare.
so this conversation is similar to like the breath conversation, you know, like there's no way that you can tell a person that without them possibly getting offended. There's no such thing as how do you say this without offending a person. They are probably going to be offended.
Or not.
Well, they may not, but the likeliness of them not being offended is lower than the possibility of them being offended. More than likely, they're going to be offended. Probably, and the reason why is because when with your breath, you don't maybe you don't smell your breath. Other people do. And if you don't know to
I
do
don't know if
that,
that
then
works.
maybe you don't. But your body, you should smell yourself. So if somebody is telling you you stink, you're probably gonna get offended. The
But
answer to it though
how
is
do you say it by how do you say it without saying you stink?
Okay,
your
well, if it's their
body
breath, you say,
unpleasant odor. I mean, I mean, whatever. You just tell them. I mean, my philosophy is you just tell them. Like if you can't handle it no more. See me, I've been around people like that, and I just deal with it for the moments I'm there, and then or if I need to, I just leave the room. I just leave the area. Like if it's somebody that I had to be around, there's only one person that I have to be around on a regular basis that I would have to say something to, and that's my wife. And I don't have to
And
say that
you
to her
tell
because
her.
that's not the issue. I would just tell her. I wouldn't say it mean. I would say it as nice as possible. But
How? Tell me, give me an example. Model it for me. I need you to show me how to say it. Tell me what to
well, it'll
say.
be informal because we have a relationship. So I'll be like, babe, I mean, I don't know. I would probably start off like that, like, babe, yeah, it's your breath been kind of smelling lately. You know what I'm saying? You need to go wash that thing. I'm just playing. I wouldn't say that. I'm just joking, but I would, but I would say it nicely. That's like, babe, if I noticed that your breath been smelling. I didn't say nothing at first, but it's been something that I've noticed happen over a period of time. Maybe maybe you need to go to the dentist or something. I don't know. I mean, I mean, I don't have
What?
much. My tact is really good for most things, but telling somebody
that
something
one.
that has no that like it's just seen as negative mostly. I don't know if I have tact for it, so I probably
Yeah.
would just get to the point and say it. But my response is just say the shit, just say it, like
Yeah.
just
I think it depends. I think it depends on the relationship you have with that person, but also the way you say it. Because some people, if it's somebody you work with, or if like some people I know, medications will change the way they smell. Their pores will smell a certain way. Their breath they may have dry mouth, and then their breath. So if it's a medical thing and you know that, you might want to be a little bit more careful. But if you smelling like women when they're vaginal areas and all that, I mean, you have to say something. Now, if it's not a friend and not somebody you have to work with all the time, you probably just going to have to let them go about their day. But if it's somebody you have to be around and you have to smell that, it's some offensive smells that could make you very sick. But like well, with my husband, I feel like he could tell me and I could tell him. There's been times I've come from the gym and he's like, well, before you come over here, goes to the shower, So he's like, you just came from the gym, go and get in the shower. And I could get offended. What you mean? But I know I just came from the gym. I
Mm-hmm.
know if I wake up, I know I love me some onions on my tacos and jalapenos. I mean, sometimes people try to act like they can do funky stuff and not smell funky. Like if you
Mm-hmm.
funky, you funky. And that comes with that. If I'm eating all onions and garlic and I get in your face and I'm offended because you're like, can I give you a piece of gum? Now, like I said, you never know if people have other issues, but there's some things people can smell and should be able to smell. And I know people don't have, because even though I smell, like my husband, I can walk in the house with a certain perfume on. And he's like, oh, that's Chanel No. 5. I just know it's perfume. Like I don't have this distinctive smell like other people know. I know you cooking oxtails. I just know some food smells good. I don't know what it is, but it smells good. But some people have heightened senses. And so if they have to deal with those kind of smells, they should be able to tell you. And if you go around them and you know you've done some funky stuff, what comes with that comes with it.
Or you could drop subtle hints, like you could ask them, you know how we wearing masks now because of COVID? And they'd be like, yeah. Well, even after COVID is over, I'm still gonna have to wear a mask around you. Just subtle.
That's kind.
Subtle, okay.
That's kind.
But I mean, like what everybody's saying, like those situations. So for me, those situations are a lot easier, like because. Like when I say those, I'm talking about like if you've been eating onions or something like that, or I mean,
y'all still talking about breath though. I mean,
no, I'm talking about all smells.
Even if it's working out,
body is a little bit different.
I'd be like, if my wife been working out and she hadn't taken a shower because she come home and then she's doing stuff around the house and she's like, well, I'm gonna do this first and then I'm gonna jump in the shower. And she passed by me, I'd be like, ooh, girl, you need to go get in the shower. She's not gonna get offended by that because, like you said, she knows she's been working out. I can say that. But if it was something like an occurring problem, to me, that's when it gets a little bit touchy. Yeah, and I haven't had to do that with her, but in the past, I've only been around people that I don't have to be around that fit that description. So I just leave the location, or I don't be around those people as much, if I notice that this is an issue, because I don't want to tell that person that.
But like, what if what if this person's house? What if it's their house or whatever that's smelling like that? It's kind of hard.
If I don't live with them, I'll do
it. You say who's smelling like mothballs in here every time they come in here? But like if it's, you don't know what the smell, if it's from their house, their car, but if it's a smell and it's offensive, you say, hey, who's leaking garbage?
You know what ass smells like? Ass smell like ass. If you walking around smelling like ass, then
so people ain't using wipes.
Your whole house, does your whole house smell like ass, or is it your ass?
Once you've been in an ass smelling environment for so long, it becomes your norm. You don't smell an ass.
You don't smell it.
But does your house smell like ass? Maybe people's houses don't normally just smell like ass.
Maybe
I'm convinced everybody doesn't smell themselves. It's not probably their.
I be like.
I'm thoroughly convinced that you smell yourself first, and
some people
take care of it. If you don't take care of it, then you get.
But your nose gets used to it.
You get used to it because I think some people, they go to the restroom during the day. Their house may not smell that way, but they don't have good hygiene ethics. I don't know. Maybe I'm just convinced that sometimes they don't. But they don't get that whiff.
How do you tell somebody? Hey,
do you have to tell them?
I have to because I don't want. It's embarrassing. They might not know but it's embarrassing knowing that you smell like that and you're going around other people and they're. Have y'all ever seen that cartoon with Pepe Le Pew and that little cat? And he walking by and people are just like fainting, the flowers are dying and all of that kind of stuff. Like this is how this person is when they walk by. You're like, oh shit, what the hell is that? And
so would you want someone to tell you?
I would.
I would want someone to tell us.
Please tell me if my twat is funky because I don't want to walk around.
But then we need to tell people.
Man, they had people.
If you so this person don't stay with you, obviously. It makes it a little easier. You tell a person, listen, I need to tell you something. You go to
maybe they do stay.
just dim that person.
I gotta make sure it's you. Come here.
Oh, they do live with you. Okay.
She didn't say that, boy.
Okay. Well, this is what I would do. I would say, I need to talk to you about something. And I say, listen, I've been trying to deal with it and I noticed it a while ago. And I'm only telling you this because I know other people notice it too. And I don't want, people talking about you behind your back. But I noticed that there's a certain odor that you have. And I don't know if you noticed it, but it's something that, you probably need to take care of. And that person is probably going to ask me, what's the odor? Well, I'm going to tell them where the odor's coming from. Like when I smell it.
Or you think the odor's coming from.
I think the odor's coming from. Like if it's musty, I'd be like, well, it smell like a musty smell, like, armpits or something like that. I'll just tell them. And if that person get offended, You deal with it. You deal with it. I mean, it's nothing else you can do. It's like there's no easy way to tell. There's a wrong way to tell somebody something, but there's really no right way. Like you can say your ass stink. Like that's the wrong way. Like you shouldn't say that. But there's no right way to tell them because it's a negative situation. You know, it's hard.
I think what you just said is good. I think that that's a good way to tell somebody. But also, there is a person that both you and I know, Capel, who could probably also use this.
I know who that is, and y'all should have done something about that last year. Y'all said y'all was, and y'all didn't. We're not gonna go nowhere else with that.
If somebody,
but we asked you to do it because you were the person in charge.
Look, I'm gonna say this.
You should say exactly what you just said right now to that person, and I'll say exactly what you just said right now to my person.
No.
Is that person heavy? The person y'all talking about, are they heavy set?
Yeah.
I'm not answering the question. Stop it, Regina. We don't want nobody like doing a process of elimination that might listen to the show at some point that we know. Don't answer no questions.
Oh, they already know.
Well, they probably do. But
I'm not telling nobody I work with. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Regina, you're right. If I was going to tell her, that would be a good way, but I'm not. I am that person's supervisor. That is not a work-related situation.
Now we know it's a her.
Like,
damn. We do know it's a her. It is because the people who come in contact with her don't have nice things to say about the person.
Well, I think it gets to a point when you work with somebody, especially in close proximity, you do have to tell them. And then because sometimes people just don't know. And then if people are talking about them behind their back and you actually genuinely like that person outside of their smell, I think I would want someone to tell me, because I'd probably flopping around thinking I smell good. I'm putting my little perfume on, and then people talking about I stink, that's embarrassing. I kind of think and like Capel said, it's no easy way to say it. I mean, I don't know. I think about how I tell my kids at home. I don't say it the right way, but I'd be like, because I don't want people talking about you. Go brush that tongue, them gums, not just your teeth. Go do this, go do that. And then I'm raising, I got a couple girls. So, we deal with other things. So we got to make sure, these kind of things start at home. Everybody didn't get that, people say, oh, this, but if your parents didn't talk to you about proper hygiene for certain things and changing bodies, a lot of people think all you got to do is wipe under your arms and take a shower once a day. But if your body, you got a sweaty body or all this other, and you haven't been taught that, somebody else needs to teach you. And it might not come from an easy, a palatable place. You're just going to have to hear it. You stink, and I'm tired of smelling it. I'm having to throw up every time you pass by. Yeah, and I'm tired of having to do that.
If we're talking about a kid, then I'm like, you need to go wash your ass. You need to, that.
Yeah, well, these adults acting like kids, that's childish. It's very childish to be stinking every day.
Every single day. Now, for students, I'm a little bit more like, I don't mince words, and all the kids know that, but I tell them at the beginning of the year, hey guys, you're growing and your bodies are changing, and see this white bag right here? There are wipes in here. And if I hand you this white bag, it means you need to go to the bathroom, hit all the hot spots, and then the deodorant that's in there is yours to keep, put it on, and then bring me my white bag back to class. And there have been times where I've had to just go and hand the kid the bag. They don't say anything. They just get up and go to the bathroom. Nobody makes a big deal about it. Nobody even usually is paying attention enough whenever I hand them the bag. They just go, clean themselves, put some deodorant on, and then they bring the bag back to me. So I bought a whole bunch of those little tiny with kids. It's easier to be like, ooh, yeah, you must not know that it's time for you to start wearing deodorant, so I'm going to give you some and I'm going to school you a little bit. But for adults, if you're an adult, and it's harder to say that there's some smells coming from you that are making my stomach turn. So how do I?
Well, do this. Say you smell like outside. Just say you smell like outside today, and then tomorrow you still smell like outside.
That ain't gonna work.
I think it requires a more intimate conversation or whatever. And I feel like I know you don't always want to hurt people's feelings, but you being honest, even if it hurts their feelings, I mean, you being honest, and it's not like you're trying to hurt their feelings or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it's something that they possibly need to know, because if you can smell it, then I'm certain other people can. So they may be embarrassed about it or whatnot. But I mean, most likely they'll soon get over it
They'll
or
appreciate
whatever.
it, maybe.
They will. I believe that
Or
they
they'll
will.
stay away from you.
But if they're an adult and they don't understand why what they're doing is making this situation, that's kind of crazy. I remember my one of my homeboys was messing with this girl or whatever, and he was going to perform the art of cunnilingus, and there was a situation or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and he didn't understand it, and she didn't understand what was going on as well. Come to find out, she had a fetus, a dead fetus in her like fallopian in her tubes,
What?
some in her uterus or
Oh,
something like that or whatever. She didn't even know, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And she figured that out, and that's crazy, you know. So it could be a
Oh
multitude of
God.
different things
It
that could
could.
be going on.
Well, women go to the OBGYN, we used to have to go, well, not have to, but it was recommended to go yearly. And
Mm-hmm.
now they've changed it where they're saying every 3 years, which I don't agree with. Like I said, I go by old school rules
Mm-hmm.
because your body changes so much, things lie dormant, but get yourself checked because there's a lot of things. And then even when you get checked, they don't test for everything. You have to
Yep.
ask for certain
Yep.
tests. And I know men don't get checked as regularly as women,
True.
and things lie dormant in men because, that's why so many women say, well, I had this. And then the man said, I gave it to him and it's not showing up on his test. And I've only been with him. A
Right.
lot of things lie dormant, but regardless of all of that, just try to get fully checked. Check for everything that your insurance will cover. If you don't
Right.
have insurance, do your best to pay for what you can. But, they don't even, we get annual examinations that test for
Mm-hmm.
STDs, but it doesn't even test for all the STDs. It tests
Mm-hmm.
for the most prominent
Yeah.
STDs.
And the
And you
most
think that,
dangerous.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you think you're clean and clear and you may not be. So,
No. And
Mm,
I mean, yeah,
mm.
this is true. I've heard that as well. Some things don't. Some things there's not even a test for, like HPV.
yeah,
HPV. There's a test for women, but there's not a test to detect it in men. So a man
yeah.
might have it and not even know it until it develops into some type of cancer or
I
something.
don't
And then
even understand how men can have it. Isn't it
they get it.
cervical cancer?
HPV.
No, it's human papilloma
Papilloma
virus,
virus.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can get it from
Most men don't have
whoever you're
symptoms
with.
though. Most
You
Oh,
men
so
don't,
don't have
right?
symptoms.
women
So
get cervical cancer as a result of it.
They could, but
could, yeah.
men could get types of cancer as a result as well.
Yeah.
It just doesn't show up in any tests for men. For women, there is a test for HPV and they
Yeah.
they can find it, but for men there isn't. And so now there's a vaccine that normally they want to give it to teenagers before they become sexually active. Like my
And
son's
it's
doctor,
optional.
yeah, it's optional. Every time I took him to the doctor up until he was 17, she was like, please let me go ahead and give it. And I was like, I heard bad things about that. No, I had to do a lot. It took me like 2 years to do research to go ahead and agree to let her give him. I said, do you have stock in this vaccine? Why you keep bugging me about this vaccine, ma'am? And she said, I just think it's going to protect him later on. So many people get it and they don't know it. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
something
that's one of the most
like
common diseases.
89% of
Yeah.
Yeah.
people have
And it's
it
a
and
lot of
don't even
strains
know it.
of
Adults,
HPV.
adults have it, yeah, because there's no symptoms. And so but I mean there are other things going on as well, like that could cause like bad smells. Like
That's
I had
crazy.
a friend and I was like, why you smell like that? And it turns out that she was, messing around with a dude. He had a dirty dick. And I was like, girl, you better leave that dirty dick alone.
I'm gonna
Why you
I'm
stink?
gonna
But she love it.
hey, you what
She
you
left him alone and she stopped stinking.
yeah,
So
oh my god.
what you could do if the person you talk about, if they do stay in your house, then you could get like a
quit
little.
saying that, Capel. Quit
I'm just
saying
saying.
that.
I'm just saying. You're right. You could get a care package and then put a note on it, and then that person don't know where it came from, and either they get the message right,
Gotta get one for everybody.
or if they want to make it, no, just get one for that one person. So that one person can be like, "Who gave me this?"
Instructions.
And then and all y'all can say at that moment, "Well, we all kind of feel that way," you know what I'm saying? Hey, so now you don't got to be singled out, and everybody know, that she got a care package or he got a care package, whatever it is. And then you can do it if the person don't stay with you. Bam. You ain't got to answer no questions.
Just put it at their door in their mailbox
Amazon,
or something.
put it anonymous, send it from Amazon.
So maybe on the onboarding process at every job, like you go through HR, you know, and they tell you what you can and cannot do. Maybe there should be like a hygiene clause, like, you know, we have a smell hygiene department that will send you a care package if, you know, if we get reports.
I just don't want to be seen as not being tactful or being rude about it, because I feel like it's rude for you to stink.
Yeah. Well, I think it's rude to not help that person be better later. So even though it's going to be difficult then, you know, it comes from a heart and a place of, I don't want to smell it, but I also don't want people talking about you. So
what I mean is a smell something physical though. You know what I'm saying? Is it something physical?
Yes.
It's physical.
Yes.
What else could it fit into? What other category?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying you could breathe through your mouth. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not doing that.
That's still physical. Oh, you talking about she has to breathe through her mouth so that she doesn't smell it?
Yeah.
So she needs to take it in.
I mean, how does she take? What is it doing? What is the smell doing?
It's killing. It's gonna kill the cells inside her body when she like.
Yep.
We don't know. It's not enough studies yet about what offensive smells do to your body, but we do know if we ingest pollution, we got a problem. So
exactly, and that is pollution. You stinking like that is polluting my
the bottom
area,
line.
my space.
The bottom line is this: there are probably small percentages of people who smell that have issues that they can't control, like the example you gave, Damien. Most of these people smell because they ain't washing properly, and it is selfish because they smell their ass first and they don't do nothing about it. So it's selfish for me to have to sit there in silence and not tell you.
But people
if I choose to leave, that's on me. But I also should have the right to say,
bro. But I know people that grew up in a situation where, man, it was just astronomically dirty, and everybody in the house smelled, you know, stank. I don't know if they took baths or whatever. Like that's how they grew up. So I don't think they could smell themselves. Everybody else can smell them.
That's case by case. How many people we know that don't know that?
I mean, maybe not, but I'm just saying those people. You think that? I mean, can you really smell? Do you really think you smell as bad as you do? If somebody else, like other people, can smell you. Sometimes I like if you're working out,
rationalizing when you smell bad and you notice it, and then you're around people and they don't
other
say
people
nothing.
May not. No, I think other people can't smell you. Like sometimes when you may think you smell because, like, say, like the odor may be coming straight from your armpits, like going straight up to your nose or whatever. So you think you stink, but other people don't smell nothing or whatever.
And vice versa, it may be. But
you're right. That is absolutely true, Damien. You're right. But because you smell yourself, you shouldn't say, "Well, other people probably don't smell me, so I'm just keep it pushing." Because you smell yourself,
it made it through.
You go take care of it.
When I smell I keep a little bag in my car. Somebody called it a hoe and go bag. Whatever, call it whatever you want. But I have there's soap in there, deodorant, a wash rag. There's it does sound like a hoe and go bag. There's like those little feminine wipes.
Hose stay fresh.
Right? There's a little feminine wipes in there. There's like a little thing of powder. I even have like makeup remover wipes in that bag, and it stays in my car just in case I feel like I'm not fresh and I'm gonna go and grab what I need and freshen up. Or if you're in my car and you're riding with me and I smell you, bitch, grab that hoe and go bag back there and handle your business, because you can't stay in my car smelling like that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Right. So if, you know, just this is a plug right here. If you're worried about smells. So this is a candle by Avant-Garde. Okay. This is a Black-owned candle company.
Oh, yay.
Okay. The owner, her name is Maisha Brown. She lives here in Houston, Texas, Missouri City, to be exact. So she started this a couple years ago. So you can go to her website. It's Avant-Garde. I think it's like Avant_Garde. But anyway, even Jamel Hill found her on social media, and She is an avid user. She used her candles as gifts during her wedding and all that. So she's been featured quite a bit, and it's just amazing. It's an amazing smell. She makes all of these by hand, and this it's just different. It's lasting. It's beautiful. And so if you have any smells in your home or your office, and if you don't want something big, she also has these little travel candles for you to take to hotels and to your workspace. So, and they come in all different smells. So check it out.
Avant-garde.
Get rid of all offensive
smells. Instagram.
Yes, she's on Instagram.
So to my French people,
I think it's Avant-garde Home.
So my people that speak French is avant-garde. You know what I'm saying? They pronouncing it in their English dialect, but if you speak French, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, and, whatever. You said French, and it made me think of something because I thought you was about to say something about people smelling again. But you also got to think about the musty odor smell. If you like at work or you know people that you just like around a lot, they may not wear deodorant on purpose. Some people, they know what that smell is. They just choose not to wear deodorant. Like some cultures, like I think I know Arabians, they don't wear
Indian. They
don't wear deodorant. That musk smell, that's a normal smell for them. That's just,
some Europeans, some Europeans as well.
And
people are opting for natural deodorants now too, and all of them don't have the chemicals. Yeah, so we say we want things that are free of chemicals, but you also have to understand what comes with that, you know. So I mean, so when we're offering for juices and berries to take care of things, but your body is already chemical warfare. You got to go and re-up during the day. So
also it does have the medication. I think D. Will said something about that, or like the food you eat, even can come through your pores or can make you smell a certain way or whatever.
It does.
So I'm like, stop eating junk food all of the time. It's okay sometimes, but don't eat it all the time.
But even like asparagus. Things like asparagus and broccoli can cause body odors, you know, in your urine, but also through your sweat glands and all of that. So, I mean, you just have to know what you smell like and handle that. So y'all tell me, okay? Don't tell me right now though, but just send me a text and tell me.
Please, if I smell, say something. Damn, I don't. I can't even imagine walking around stinking like that and nobody's telling me, but everybody's talking behind my back. Like, do not go in the bathroom after her, or don't go in the copy room after her, or whatever. Like, tell me so I can fix it, because I don't want those problems.
Yeah, you ain't gonna have those problems, though, Regina, because you're cognizant of yourself.
I try.
Yeah, we'll talk about the other situation later.
Anyway, so thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Acoustic Chef.
Are we done already?
We should be.
Yeah, we moved fast.
That was so quick.
It was.
Because it flowed so well. We just kept talking into each subject.
Yeah,
oh my God, we're at an hour already. Wow. Okay. Well, I guess so. I guess it's time to say goodbye.
Yep.
So what do we want our listeners and viewers to do?
Like,
subscribe, share, tell others. Don't click off.
All of that. Continue the conversation.
Yes.
Continue the conversation. And if you have a business that you want us to highlight, or you have a topic you want us to discuss, let us know. Let us know in the comments. Mm-hmm. Okay. And follow all of our social media platforms, listen to us on all platforms, and be a part of the show. We'd love to hear from you.
Bam.
That's what's up. Have a good day.
Until next time.